So I'm going to walk you through some of the questions from the homework, just so you can have a fair idea how to start these if you're unsure. Sometimes it's better just to start with a simple graph. So cosine x we know starts at 1. Perhaps if I use a different colour we'll be able to see it's a little better. Here we go. So at 1, we know at 90 it's equal to 0, and at 180 negative 1, 270 is 0, and 360 is 1. So try and draw that in. Very flat looking cosine graph here. And plus 1 means we're just going to take all these values and we're going to add on 1 to them. So move this up one place, move this up one place, and so on. And if we do that for all the key points, then we have the general shape of our new graph, and we can go ahead and join that up. So this is the graph of cosine x, this is the graph of cosine x plus 1. So sine x minus 2, same thing, key points. So we know sine starts at 0, at 90 it's 1, at 180 it's 0, 270 it's negative 1, and at 360 once again it's back to 0. And if we go ahead and join that up, once again it's a very flat looking sine graph. This one says minus 2, so we're going to take each point and move it down 2 places. 1, 2. 2. Then we can go ahead and draw in up the new points, and we should be able to see that for every point this has just been moved down 2 places. 2 cosine x. So we had cosine x drawn earlier, and I'm going to just draw it back in very quickly. So 2 cosine x means we're going to take each of the points and we're going to double them. So the y value is 1, so 2 times 1 is 2. 0, 2 times 0, 0. Negative 1, 2 times negative 1, negative 2. 2 times 0, 0. The y value here is 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Then we can go ahead and try and draw in that cosine shape. And that would be our graph of 2 cosine x. It's that vertical stretch that we looked at earlier. For number 4, negative 3 sine x. So I'm going to quickly draw back in sine x that we looked at earlier. And then negative 3 sine x, we might want to do this in 2 steps possibly. We might want to times it by 3 and then flip it. We might want to do flip it and then times it by 3. Or we could just times each point by negative 3 straight away. So 0 times negative 3 is 0. 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. 0 times negative 3 is 0. Negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3. And the last one, 0 times negative 3 is again 0. And then we can go ahead and draw in our graph. And you can see both characteristics there. You can see that there's been a stretch 3 times, and you can also see that it's been flipped over the x-axis. Y equals negative secant x, so we need to know what secant x actually looks like. So that's the reciprocal of the cosine graph. So the cosine graph looks like, oops, not the best drawing ever there. So if we're going to draw secant, we're going to draw the reciprocal. So whenever it's 0, then I know that 1 over 0 is undefined. And I know that I'm going to flip part of the graphs over. So this is my U shape here, not particularly good. So I'm going to flip that over. It's going to look like that. And I'm going to flip this part over, so it looks like this. And same with this one, I'm going to flip this one over as well. So that's my graph of secant. But this one says negative secant. So I need to take this graph of secant and then flip that over the axis. So this is supposed to be at 1 here. So that's going to come down to negative 1. This one needs to flip over as well. And same thing with this one here. And the graph that you can see in blue would be your graph for negative secant x. 2 cosecant x. So this is the reciprocal of the sine graph. So I'm going to quickly draw in my sine graph. Wherever it's 0, we know there's going to be an asymptote. Because 1 divided by 0 is undefined. And actually also on the axis as well. And this one's actually slightly easier to draw. So this one, we're just going to take this and we're going to flip it upside down. So it becomes nice nice U, and the U, I'm going to flip that upside down, so it becomes like an N shape. Now this one actually says 2 cosine x, 2 cosecant x. So what that means is each of the values is actually going to double. So this value here that's 2 is actually going to become 4, and I'm going to go ahead and do this one in green. 1, if we double that, 2 times 1 is 2. And same over here, this is 2, so if we double it, it's 4. And then what actually happens is, you can see the graph is actually getting steeper. And we can do the same thing for this side. So this value here is negative 1, so if we double it, negative 2. This value here is 2, so if we double that, negative 2 is negative 4. And then the same sort of thing over this side here. We can double the graph and it's going to look pretty much the same, but it's going to be a little bit steeper. So the graph in green would be my graph for cosecant x.